so, huh?
I mean, if you're stepping
It makes
down
a lot of sense.
from the most successful company in the history of companies,
Yep.
there's no reason for you to step down.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing going on. Your life is easy. You got a divorce. You're tagging this new chick. You got way more money after the divorce. Everything has worked out perfectly for you.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to love Amazon, despite the fact that it's clearly a monopoly.
Yeah.
But you've convinced the American public that it's not because we're getting shit for cheap, even though you're
Free,
killing
fast.
your competition.
Oh,
Super free, super fast. Matter of fact, thank you for the wallpaper. Killed it with that.
Yep.
That Maui leaf. Is it Maui leaf?
Maui leaf.
Maui leaf.
Uh-huh.
Son.
You even had enough for Mark's shirt. Mark made a whole button down out of the wall. Get it, Mark. Mark thought we were going to Australia. He had no clue that Miami's in Florida.
Crocodile Dundee over here.
That's what you call a knife.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
It is what you call a knife.
Point is, Bezos is stepping down from Amazon, and I can't think of any other reason besides he thinks there's going to be a vacancy in. Well, no, he thinks there's going to be a potential, not a vacancy, but he thinks there's going to be potential for another outsider to win the presidency.
I love it. I'm not even a big Bezos guy, but I love it. You need to run the government like a cutthroat company.
Do you though?
I don't know if you do,
I
bro.
kind of think you don't.
You need
I
to.
think that. Are you sure? That's
if you
literally
wanna
what
talk
Trump
about-
did. Trump was like, "I'm just gonna support the people who buy things at my business," and then half the country was like, "We don't like that."
My brain freaked out because it sounded like you were making a good point, and it just kind of stopped thinking for a second.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm saying.
But wait, was that a good point?
I don't know. It sounded. You,
think
you
that was
pointed
a
the
good-ass
knife at me.
point.
I got flustered.
Everyone's
Pointing
making a good
a
point.
knife
Son, that shit is.
at a non-white
Son,
is so much fun.
talk about a point. You point a point.
But I'm just saying, like, usually, you know.
What happens if you smash them together? Does it make the...
Well, let's try.
Let's go. Oh, that's a knife.
That shit is fire, dog.
Real.
Son,
Yo, if you're listening to this podcast, step your game up, bro. You know what I mean, don't stop because those are great too. But also YouTube, you get to see all this, the new set. You might see Dove's foot pop into the wide every once in a while. We haven't given him a camera just yet, though. He might be earning his keep. The point being,
I mean, he offered up his sisters to be on the podcast.
and his own mother, beautiful woman, beautiful woman.
This guy's desperate for the limelight.
Stunning.
He'll do anything.
I would even say stunning. I would
Really?
even say,
Thank you.
Real.
Oh, wow.
I would even say,
Put them on screen. I vouch
I would
for that.
even
Oh my
say,
gosh.
a smoke, a show.
Word.
Whoa.
I would even say, a smoke, a show.
Madre.
Madre de Sorellas. Is she in Miami?
Whoa.
Ow,
That was
Whoa.
Mark
just
I
said
did not say that. I would
Ow,
never say
yo.
that. Okay, I would
What's
never
going on?
say that.
Mark just said that.
No,
That's
I did
a
not.
wild
No.
boy right there.
I know she's in
She's
Miami.
Jewish. She doesn't date black guys. What is wrong with you? Point being, do you think Bezos could run? And do you think that's what he's planning for?
Here's what I was trying to get. The point I was getting to. If you've seen government, like anybody who works a government job,
Yeah.
they get nothing done. It's
Yeah.
the least efficient thing on earth.
Yeah.
Government programs completely inefficient.
They pay the least, of course. They're gonna pay the
Tax
least.
money gets used so inefficiently. I think you need a corporate guy to be like, hey, let's fix all this shit.
And a corporate guy who's already made all their money. The
Yeah.
reason why you often don't have talent in the public sector is because those people go to the private sector and they make 10
tons of
times
money.
the amount of money, right?
100%.
Why would I organize the DMV when I could be organizing or I can be doing consulting for some crazy
I'll
billion-dollar
just sell cars
corporation?
and make billions of dollars.
Boom, 100%. I still think that Bezos has realized I've made all the money I can make. I've done everything I can do. Okay? I've divorced my wife and made it back.
Oh yeah.
Once you divorce your wife
Yeah.
and you make it back and then some, you think you're unstoppable.
It took like a calendar year. It didn't
Bro.
even take time.
One pandemic.
Nothing.
He started one pandemic.
Bruh.
Dude, what if he started the pandemic? He was like, bitch, you thought you got it. So I think that's what the move was.
I would love a Bezos Trump election or Bezos Cuban election. I mean, that shit would be so lit. Bezos and Cuban going at it.
I just think it's interesting to see him step away.
I don't know, dude. I think anyone that has a ton of money sees Trump and goes, "It's not worth it."
So
Like they gotta look. At
I
that
think
and
they
go,
all think. I think it's the opposite. I think they have such egos. They say I could do that better.
maybe.
I
Howard
also
Schultz
think
thought
that-
he could.
Howard Schultz thought he could, but cornball, dog. fucking cornball.
He's a cornball, isn't he?
He's a cornball.
Is this the Starbucks
Fucking
guy?
cornball,
That's
yo.
Starbucks, dog.
Seattle, get out of here, you cuck.
Fucking nerd. I care about the people.
Sounds like a great Schultz.
Nah, that's done.
Nah, you don't got the new updates.
really?
Yeah, now that we updated, it's fuck Starbucks.
Yo.
Coffee bean all day. Eat a dang-a-lang. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Let's
You
go.
say it like that. I'm on board.
Hey,
Fuck
what's
Starbucks.
this? Remember how racist Starbucks was?
Yeah, remember that? Remember
Coffee
that?
bean never done that.
And it's Black History Bucks.
And
Yeah.
Black History
Hey,
Month.
fuck Howard Schultz, yo.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
you.
All you got is a name.
You're not even my favorite Schultz.
Thank
Really.
you. Well, I hope.
Kind of not even a
I hope
compliment.
so.
Yeah, you're right. That wasn't much of a
There was a
compliment.
time where it was close. You're like,
Yeah.
bro, I got $2.50 on a Starbucks card.
Have you had these
Look at this Howard
cappuccinos? I mean, this guy's
Oh,
amazing.
man.
But if you're right on
Fucking cuck.
if you're right on Bezos, who are the two people that won COVID? Bezos for the Democrats, and on the right side, who could win? Governor of Florida,
Yo,
DeSantis.
real talk?
DeSantis finna get that motherfucking run.
That would be
yo.
a
If you want
battle.
to talk about a political insider that could do it, it's DeSantis. Now, DeSantis is governor. Where do you go from governor?
El Presidente.
It's
that's
only
it.
president, right?
Yo.
So DeSantis, I think he got a shot. I think that Bezos is definitely going to go for it. I think he's got nothing to lose. He's already got the whole scandal out about his wife. And the fact that Trump had 4 wives,
Yeah. It don't matter anymore.
it doesn't matter anymore. None of this shit matters anymore. The morality of it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for the Dems either.
No.
I think the Dems have been exposed as well. I think they're just like, okay, we voted for Biden because...
He was the lesser of two evils.
Exactly. So we're willing to absolve these political figures for their, past transgressions, be them political or, I guess personal.
Yeah.
It's okay as long as they're not as bad as the other guys. So all you got to do is paint the other guys worse. They'll vote.
Yeah.
You think these Dems are going to stop using Amazon? Fuck no.
Nope.
Yeah, and
Republicans aren't.
I'm trying to find the words for this, but Trump said a lot of things that made him unelectable to anybody on the left. Then we elect Biden, and now we're at war with Afghanistan 2 weeks in.
Son, what is Biden like? Do people care? Does anybody care about anything? Like, I feel like the right wing news should be sticking everything to Biden, but nobody's even talking about it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Keep going. No, but what does that say?
Like, I think no news is good news.
Yes, but does that mean that the establishment is kind of on the same side regardless? Like they could, I think, didn't Biden say $2,000 is coming? No, there's no more $2,000. That's been walked back.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not going to intervene in the Middle East anymore. We're going right back out there.
Yeah, I got a plan for the coronavirus. There's nothing we can
There's
do.
no plan. Fossil fuels. I'm not going to touch your fossil fuels. We're not going to do any more federal fracking. Right? It's,
But this is every election. This is every president.
of course,
yeah.
but I guess what I'm saying is like the news, in the way that the news was reacting to Trump, and it was actually really successful in their reaction, right? Regardless if like Fox News is on Trump's side or not, it doesn't fucking matter. It's just they were getting fucking ratings by slamming the other side.
Yeah.
The right-wing news organizations have fodder to slam,
But
and it
they're not.
feels like they're not.
Yeah.
I kind of
Why?
feel, if I had to assume, I think it's just the way Biden's going about it. Because, like, with the fossil fuel situation, he's trying to make up the jobs that are going to be lost. So he's like, yeah, we're moving away from fossil fuels, but I'm going to put programs in place where re-job training and shit like that. So it's kind of like, hey, I'm not just going to change some shit like Trump did, like once he walked in, and you got to deal with it. I'm going to be like, all right, I'm about to make some changes, and I'm going to try to make it work for everybody.
Great point. My only concern is that usually the news doesn't care about context. Usually they're going to go off the most salacious line, but great point. I just wonder if because Biden is part of the establishment, both parts of the political news aisle are just going, thank God, let's just get shit back to
calm down.
normal. Calm shit down.
To the Bezos point, though, what I hope kind of might happen is people are like, all right, cool. Once we see that it's just back to politics as normal, no matter who we elect outside of the outsider, I want an outsider. I just don't want one as divisive. And that's where Bezos, Cuban, all those guys, to me, hit that middle swath of America that's like, nah, I fuck with this guy. He's different, but he's not divisive.
Who could not vote for Bezos? Like,
That's the thing, yeah.
Even Bernie and them, right? Like, Bernie and them are saying $15 minimum wage. So is Amazon. Now, Amazon is doing it to put pressure on their mom and pop competitors because the mom and pops can't pay 15, but Amazon definitely can.
And they're also replacing them with the robotic workforce.
Of course,
So,
exactly.
pay
They're going to
whatever
have
you
much less workforce. So whoever is there will pay 15, of course. But if you're a $15 minimum wage loyalist, like the super left people are, they're satisfying it. If you're right wing, this is capitalism on steroids.
Yeah.
I cannot fathom either side, even the extremes of those sides, objecting to Bezos.
Yeah.
This is American industry. He's not, I don't think in any way, he's like kowtowing to China.
I think extreme left would still hate him because he's so capitalist, but moderate left?
They would.
In.
Don't get me wrong. They'd find a way, but he is still checking off some of their boxes.
Yeah.
I don't think he's running. I think maybe something's coming down the line where it's like he needs to separate himself.
Or it
from
could
the
fuck
from
with
the company
Amazon.
or something to save.
The other,
I agree.
But yeah, I think that's what's coming.
What do you think it is?
I'm not sure. You know how they were trying to like break up these big organizations and shit like that, and you know how he like the majority of their money comes from that web shit that they do.
Whoa. You could be onto something. What if it's a legacy play? What if it's I'm going to get out of my company before it's broken up?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because I don't want to be the guy. Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I don't want to be the guy seated in that position and watch it. It's not going to crumble, but watch it not become
fracture.
Yes. And I understand that if you're at this point, you have this much money and all you're concerned about is legacy, I'm out.
You can only go down from here in his position right now. Now he gets to go back to Blue Origin, his spaceship. I used to see him at all. He goes to every event for Amazon Prime and wants to spend money for the content. Right? He wants to now compete with Netflix. Amazon's doing great with original content. So
yes, they are.
He's got things to do.
It's crazy and a little bit scary how big and good all these companies are at everything. Like SpaceX is also Tesla, which they're going to outer space, and then they're going to do solar paneling, and that's going to be even bigger than the cars. Google's going to make they make cell phones, start as an internet provider. God knows what else they're going to do, self-driving cars. Like, they're just, these companies are making everything.
Was it you that said it about Apple,
TV.
the Apple car? No,
Oh,
it's Miles.
that they're poaching.
Yeah, they got like this top engineer from Porsche.
Yeah.
So Apple's going for it. They're
That's
going
the
for
only
it.
way. Now all these companies aren't even competing within their sector. They're competing with the other giants.
Do you think that the reason why Bezos was able to step down is because Elon took over the #1 spot?